أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ما آتاكم الرسول فخذوه وما نهاكم عنه فانتهوا صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. My dear respected listeners, last week we talked about the importance of Salah in our lives and how the Prophet ﷺ gave the utmost importance to Salah. It comes in a hadith that when new people would come and enter Islam, after correcting their aqaid, after bringing them to Tawheed and the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first thing that the Prophet ﷺ would command them to do is Salah. Al-Ma'ad ibn Jabal radiallahu anhu, when he was departing, is a famous hadith that when he was departing for Yemen, Prophet ﷺ deputed him over to Yemen and told him that it is possible that the next time you return to Medina, you will not find me but my grave. And he told him as he was putting his foot on his ride that, O Ma'az, when you reach the people of Yemen, give them good tidings and do not make them hate Deen. And first bring them to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When they accept that, then the first thing that you should do after their belief is straightened is to command them for Salah. Then if they accept this and if they start practicing it, then bring them to the other things. So from several hadiths, it is very clear that in amali life, in practical life, the most important thing upon which there just simply cannot be any compromise is Salah. Rasulullah was so concerned about Salah that at one point he said that, imagine he's Rahmatul lil Alameen. Why am I bringing this topic here? Because in the past 3 or 4 weeks, in the past month, we've talked about the rahmah, the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ, how he was sent, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him this title that he's Rahmatul lil Alameen. But then what is this Rahmatul lil Alameen saying one day to his Sahaba? He's saying that I feel like gathering young people and asking them to collect burning material, dry wood, and ask them or myself go and burn the houses of the people who do not come for Salah, burn those houses upon them, burn their houses upon them. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from negligence. So much so that some Sahaba came to the Prophet ﷺ and said that, Ya Rasulullah, our houses are very far from this masjid. So how about we move closer? How about we move closer to this masjid? The Prophet ﷺ was not very keen about Salah only, but he gave importance even to the minor things associated with Salah. He said it is better for you if you travel farther for Salah. It is better for you if you travel farther for Salah. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, if I remember correctly, he has said that the Prophet ﷺ has devised for you, he was addressing other Sahaba and his students, the Prophet ﷺ has advised for you Sunan of Huda. Sunan of Huda. What is the meaning of that? That whatever the Prophet ﷺ has told you to do, whatever ways the Prophet ﷺ has prescribed, they are the best for you. They are the best for you, for your nature, for your physical self as well. For not only in your religious self or spiritual self, but they are the best for you in every regard. In terms of your body, in terms of your social life, in terms of your economy, all those things that the Prophet ﷺ has prescribed to you, they are the best for you. And as a Muslim, we have to believe this. We have to believe this. Because our iman starts with iman bil ghaib. We will not be told the logic behind everything. The wisdom behind everything will not necessarily be always shown to us. Our belief is that we believe blindly in whatever the Prophet ﷺ has said, without question. This was the key thing about the Sahaba that made them Sahaba, and that made them successful, the most successful people. Because I don't know if I mentioned it here, it comes in the books of history that the nations that wanted to compete with the Sahaba, they would send some spies. There's multiple stories of this. They would send some spies to see the life of the Sahaba, how they are with their Prophet. And these spies would get impressed so much that they would turn back and then tell their kings and kingdoms that there is no way we can fight and have victory over these people, because they are blindly in love with their Prophet. They are blindly in love with their leader. There is no question that they will ever think of going against. There's so many stories. At the time of Hudaybiyah, when the people were staying, they sent Urwa, I think, if I remember correct. He came and he saw that these people are not even letting the water of their leader, when he makes wuzu, they are not even letting that drop. Let alone the water of wuzu, they are not even letting his spit drop to the ground. And as soon as it comes out of his body, they take it and wipe it over their own body. Can you ever imagine that? But anyway, to explain the meaning of Sunan-e-Huda basically means that whatever has been said by the Prophet ﷺ, amanna wa saddaqna. Whatever our Nabi is saying, no matter if it makes sense to us or not. The Sahaba were of a status that it would make sense to them. They would, with their tabi'at, want to follow it. But at least for us, even if we don't ourselves from inside want to follow it, we have to at least know that this is the best thing. This is the best thing. If our Prophet has said it, this is the best thing. So Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu says that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has devised Sunan-e-Huda for you. An example, and there's so many big examples, but just taking it in, maybe this example will make sense to us. That, for example, it is a sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in relation to salah, that before you make salah, you make wudu. So basically, it's a sunnah, but also it's a requirement, right? Not sunnah in the technical manner that you say it's a sunnah, I'll make it. If I don't make it, I will not be sinful. But in that wudu, the Prophet ﷺ would very thoroughly clean his nose, right? Would very thoroughly clean his throat. But when it comes to ears, how would he do that? How would he do this? How do we clean our ears? Just wipe a wet finger, right? On superficially, that's it. Today we are learning, and not today, but many years back we learned, that most of the diseases of the ear, all these are passages, right? If you put a drop in your ear, it will reach your throat. If you put a drop in your nose, it will reach your throat, and the throat is there. They lead into your stomach, but for some reason, ears are the least common source of infection among the three in adults. Did the Prophet ﷺ know this? Did the Prophet ﷺ had scientific knowledge of this? This is the meaning of Sunan of Huda. That whatever the Prophet ﷺ is telling you, the way he's doing it in the best manner. And there's so many big, huge examples. Take the example of alcohol. Take the example of interest. Whatever the Prophet ﷺ forbade, the world is learning much later on that these things are not good for us, even if you set religion aside. So Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu has said that the Prophet ﷺ has devised Sunan-e-Huda for you, and if you stop coming to masajid, you will be those people who leave the Sunan-e-Huda of the Prophet ﷺ. The ulama have explained two meanings. One is very apparent and straightforward meaning, that there is so many benefits for you in terms of your family life, even in terms of your social life, and of course in terms of your collective life, in relation to people outside your family, that are hidden, that sometimes you may feel and sometimes you may not know in your coming to the masjid. But even another meaning is that the Hazrat al-Muhaddiseen have said that if you leave this, what Hazrat Abdullah ibn Mas'ud meant was that if you leave this, you will be on a path to leave the other beautiful ways of the Prophet ﷺ. And these Sunan compromise, the ways of the Prophet ﷺ, the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, comprises a major unavoidable part of deen. Something that you cannot, something without which your deen cannot be complete. And then he said that in our days, every single person would come to the masjid. Every single person. Even the munafiqeen would come to the masjid. Even those who were hypocrites, who deep down did not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even they would come to the masjid. Only those who were very open, even the munafiqeen who were not publicly known as munafiqeen, they would, if they had to take the support, they were not even able to walk, even then they will come to the masjid. They will be dragged to the masjid. Only those people will not come to the masjid who are either openly kuffar, of course they had nothing to do with Islam, or those people who were openly munafiq. Those people who about whom everybody knew, people like Abdullah ibn Ubay, about whom everybody knew that these people are just faking it. These people are just faking it for getting the temporary benefits of this world. So my dear respected brothers, living in this society, living in present day, at least we have to keep our ideal there. At least we have to keep our mind fixed on what was the life of Sahaba like. What was the life of the Prophet ﷺ like. If we even leave that, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. There's a hadith that comes to mind. The Prophet ﷺ has said, Kullu ummati ma'afi illa al-mujahideen. For all of my ummah, for every single person of my ummah, there is forgiveness. Except those who commit sins daringly, who commit sins openly, who are proud of their sins. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us, but our situation here is that leave the minor sins. If we look at the major sins, for example, not coming to salah when it is time, when you are called, is a major sin. We don't even consider these things sins. We don't even consider these things. Hazrat, the Mashayikh have said that if a person is constantly sinning, but knows that he is sinning, he feels in his heart that I am doing something wrong, he is a million times better than a person who is sinning and does not even think that it's a sin. Because if they are sinning and they think that it's a sin, there will come a point, inshallah, in their life when they'll turn back, when they at least get the blessing and honor of repenting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if you don't even think that it is sin, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. We run the risk of kullu ummati ma'afi illa al-mujahideen. We become mujahideen. We don't even think that it's sin, and we do it openly, and we are in a way proud about it. We don't even think that it's something that we are doing wrong. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all from all fitan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the practice upon deen easy for us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make the following of the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ something that is beloved to us. From inside we like to do it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us that kind of a personality. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Brothers who have prayed the sunnah can do salah.